Digimon games have come a long way since 1999, branching out from the original Digimon World games that we first got in order to make something more story-focused and more similar styles compared to the great variety that Digimon games love to embrace for the first many that it created. These story games have become a staple of the Digimon community, and for people like me, are some of my favorite Digimon games to this day. Yet the newest story game continues to elude us. It's been over 7.5 years since this game was first announced. It was being made before Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory first was released. So, what is it that we even know about it? Will this game ever really come out? Has it been so long? Can we officially say at this point it's in development hell and will never escape? Well, let's dive in and take a look at the very limited information we have gotten, as we are still waiting for the more information coming soon, 4 months later after DigimonCon. So we first look back at December 8th of 2017, when there was a interview with then producer Habu. Most of you who have been around Digimon for a while, especially pay attention to the games, know about Habu. He was talking about how in order for these games to come out, he thought it was very important to maintain for the franchise that more games to come out. But even as Hacker's Memory was coming out, he was already talking about that there was another story game being developed. At the time, there was absolutely nothing that was being said about it, but it was already saying that the Digimon Story game was being worked on. It was time to keep working on new ones, and that it is being worked on completely separately from Hacker's Memory, even while it was being released. And then, it's a very early teaser for a game. So, we didn't hear anything more about it until we started talking a little bit more about Digimon Survive, another game that was definitely plagued by delays and did not come out immediately. So, while they were talking about Digimon Survive, we also got something of a tease for it as well, that yes, the new Digimon title is still underway. It was stated there that development will still have some time to go, so they wanted to release Digimon Survive to make sure that new content was to be offered before that. You'd be very happy if Digimon Survive could also become another storyline and another type of game that could be released. With some work, I think I could see that happening with Digimon Survive. So, in order to keep up with the Digimon content that was coming out, we got the Digimon Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition, which came out October 18th, 2019. This was, again, their attempt to keep Digimon content coming out, even though there was really nothing new in this game, except that it did add a little bit to Cyber Sleuth of allowing you to get to 200 AVI, and to add in the Digimon that were added there. But it didn't even go to the steps of adding in the hacker skills that were in Hacker's Memory into Cyber Sleuth, like acceleration, which would have been some very welcome changes. And then, well, as everyone in the world knows, 2020 happened. The event that changed everything for a number of years. Not just Digimon, but everything around the world. Everything changed. And so even the game that was currently being developed, Digimon Survive, got delayed again and again. And for a long time, there was nothing really more to be heard about this game, as we were all reeling. We were all trying to figure out what was going on, what would we do, whether it's with Digimon or just our everyday lives. Hello, Blackoutmon. Yes, you're helping. Until we came to DigimonCon 2022, the very first DigimonCon, where we got to talk a little bit with Habu in a pre-recording. And we got our first little actual tidbits of what will happen. Which is that there is a new Digimon Story game still. They still had no title for it and no release date, which I just believe happened because Digimon Survive got delayed so long, as they were very scared even at that point to give anything a release date that it would be delayed so many times. And the big things that were revealed there is that, yes, unlike Cyber Sleuth, these are games that will actually take place in the digital world. So we'll be back to there, not so much these cyber spaces, Eden, that the Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth games mostly took place in. You did go to the digital world in those games, but it was very rare. And the main antagonists, or characters that would be involved in the game, I'm assuming they'll be antagonists, maybe not, are the Olympus 12, which you see a couple of them here and there. You see Dianamon, Apollomon, you will see a few of them around, but for the most part, the Olympus 12 are not a group that has been very well widely known. and therefore we can also speculate that the server Iliad may well have something to do with this, though that has definitely not been confirmed. And after those very brief questions about it, nothing else was answered there. The game just got put on the back burner because Digimon Survive was coming out. That's all we were talking about. And finally, on July 28th, 2022, Digimon Survive did come out, even though the release date wasn't revealed at Digimon Con that year. It was revealed weeks later. It's a very strange thing. But finally, the game had a release date and it came out. And for the most part, it's a fine game. I know many of us were a little disappointed, and I do believe that the virus did definitely have a bit of a effect upon that. And therefore, as we continued on, we heard nothing about the new game. The thing we did get was Digimon World Next Order, which came out on Steam, the Nintendo Switch, and other consoles in order to modernize it. And it added a easier difficulty and a sprint button. Which, I mean, I'm happy. Sprint buttons are cool. But this, again, wasn't much of anything, and it wasn't a promise of any new game at Digimon Con 2023 at all to talk about. So, therefore, when we got into 2024 and we were still having nothing, we were getting a bit nervous. Well, we learned on February 20th a little bit about it. Over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days, you'll find me there too, as many people, we found the beloved Habu, the one who produced many Digimon games and has been around for a long time, said that he is no longer in charge of the Digimon games. He is stepping down to somebody else, a trusted director. And that this had apparently been the case since 2023. So this entire game changed directors 6 years into development. I mean, it could be nothing. It could mean they're just going on as intended. Or does that mean a huge change occurred to delay this even more? Well, they talked about it at DigimonCon 2024. They brought it up during their video game section. At the end of it, they asked, hey, is there any more information about the new Digimon Story game? And all we got was, yes, it's still coming. We thank you for your patience. More information coming soon. That was 4 months ago. I don't know what they define as soon, but we have received nothing to this day. And that's still where we sit. The Digimon Story game is still just floating there in hiatus, much like Digimon Survive did for years. Except we didn't hear about Digimon Survive 7.5 years before it actually... Well, I've said before it actually came out, but this game still hasn't come out. So, I do think it's trapped in a little bit of what they call as development hell. It's had a change of directors, it had the virus happen, so a lot of different things are changing. Especially because originally it was talked about that it would be developed for the PlayStation 4. Now, there are still games coming out for the PlayStation 4. I was actually curious about it myself. I looked, and there are still some games being released for it. But is that really where they want to release a brand new Digimon game? Would they want to release it on the 4 and 5? Would they look at how Digimon Survive sold and try to do it on all the different consoles while trying to make it compatible for all the different consoles as part of the development time that's making it take longer? That could very well be. I just hope that in all of this time, change of directors and everything, it means it's just the best for the fans and for the game. That it doesn't end up like some of these games that clearly just end up trapped in this development cycle that never truly escapes, and it's just eventually has to be put out to have something to put out. Because unless they're going to go back and do a bunch more ports of the older games, which I know some of you would enjoy, I don't know what else they can put out to pad the time to give themselves more time in order to get it. Unless they have some small DLC for Survive they want to put out or something, besides just the pre-order pack. That could be. But what do you think? What do you think's going to happen to this game? Are you still excited? Do you still think it's going to be the best game that the story series has to offer? Because Cyber Sleuth, the last entries in it, was a very good game. It's the one I still recommend to anybody who's new to the genre and to Digimon. So, what do you think? Is it something you would enjoy? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more Digimon content from me, and share it around. Let everybody know about Digimon and all the wonders that it has to offer. And as always, everyone, remember to be awesome. Until the next one, take care. Bye.